Well, thank you, Bishop Porter. Thank you very much for your leadership and for welcoming us into your home here. Through PLCCA and your faith leadership, you've been guiding this community really as a guiding light for decades, and I want to thank you for that. So many people are in your gratitude. They believe in you. They know that you stand for them, stand up for them year in and year out, and I am truly personally grateful for that. Today, I'm pleased to be here to welcome our allies and friends in service. I want to begin with Commissioner Brandon Johnson, who's here with us today, with Maywood Mayor Nathaniel Booker, Harold Rice Jr., and the entire team at the Community and Economic Development Association of Cook County. Joining us here on behalf of my administration are Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton and our DCEO Director, Sylvia Garcia. For the last 20 months, our state government has worked day and night to anticipate and respond to the damage that COVID-19 has done to families all across our state. We can ask people to look out for one another, and you have. But fundamentally, we also need to make sure that our government is helping people get through this challenging time with resources to address the damage this virus has done to their personal finances. That's been one of my defining beliefs about our response to this pandemic, and I've consistently called upon the federal government to do the same. Today, I'm very pleased to make yet another announcement to put more resources in the hands of people who need it most. Illinois is launching the low-income household water assistance program, $42 million to help residents keep up with their water and sewage bills and avoid utility shutoffs. Together with the $327 million that I announced in September for energy bill assistance and the Community Services Block Grant Program, our total available funds for utility bills and other household expenses has been brought to a record level. We've been able to help Illinoisans avoid 112,000 utility disconnections across the state of Illinois as they've worked to keep their families safe from COVID-19. And we will be providing hundreds of millions of additional dollars to support their recovery in the months ahead. If your family is facing disconnection, already been shut off, or dealing with debts and late fees, please visit www.helpillinoisfamilies.com to learn more about how you can get help, especially during this holiday season. Again, that's helpillinoisfamilies.com. This is the latest in a series of efforts directed to supporting our residents so that they can support their households and help their families to thrive. During the pandemic, Illinois has been truly the best in the nation and named such at delivering housing relief with rental and mortgage assistance that has made the difference for more than 56,000 households when it mattered most. This year, we're in the midst of putting $1.5 billion worth of rent relief to work to stabilize vulnerable renters and their landlords. Nearly 4 times that amount was available in 2020. The first round of assistance through the Illinois Rental Payment Assistance Program provided more than $570 million to keep 63,000 families safe while they regained their financial footing. As of yesterday, we've launched yet another round of support with an additional $300 million in rental assistance. Again, if you need help right now with rental assistance, we're here for you. And you should again go to helpillinoisfamilies.com. If you're a renter behind on your rent due to the effect of the pandemic, or if you're a landlord with a tenant who's behind on their rent, you can apply right now for up to $25,000 in help from the state by visiting IllinoisHousingHelp.com. IllinoisHousingHelp.org. I'm going to repeat that again, IllinoisHousingHelp.org. Information's available in both English and Spanish. The application period will be available now through January 9th, 2022, so apply as soon as you are able. And thanks to the nation-leading climate, energy, and equity legislation that I signed into law in September, Illinois has eliminated the online payment fee for all consumers' utility bills and eliminated all late fees and deposits for low-income utility residential customers. That's a big difference for many families across Illinois. I came into the governor's office with a promise to rebuild and revitalize Illinois' human services sector, which has been decimated, frankly, under my predecessor's budget crisis. While the need is still great, I'm very proud that Illinois is a national leader in helping people stay in their homes during this health emergency. Residents deserve the dignity and the safety that comes from having a roof over their heads, with the lights on and the water running. And here in Illinois, we continue to support our most vulnerable. So with that, I'd like to introduce someone who can speak to exactly what this kind of investment can do for our residents. A father, a grandfather, a resident of Maywood for over 50 years, Freeman Brown.
Thank you, Governor Pritzker. Good afternoon to all you. I've been in Maywood, Freeman Brown Jr., for over 50 years. And I saw a change with my light and gas cut off with the CCA saved me many times. Saved me many times. And I look back over my life with PLCCA looking out for me, Governor Pritzker, for years. DCEO, the things that they did for me and with the water they thinking about doing is a good thing that I thought about years ago for Maywood and for the whole state of Illinois. And I would say to each one, I worked at Zenith Corporation as the machinist for over 14 years. I worked for International Harvester for 5 years. And over my period of time, I got hurt on the job, and PLCCA have really helped me for over 10, 15 years. And they helped my grandkids, and they started helping me. And I just like to say, over my life, that I couldn't have made it without. Said, in 50 years in the village, ups and downs, and what you see now is rougher than it ever been with the COVID and stuff going on. But I would like to say, I thank everyone, you all, for listening to me today about my problems, and I would like to introduce to you all Harold Rice Jr., CEO of CEDA, PCLA, introducing to you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you to my friend Bishop Porter and PLCCA family for hosting this event. But I want to give a special thanks to our governor, my governor, Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, and your administration for this groundbreaking initiative to help our residents who need it the most. Our organization will be working closely with our partner and funder, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, to ensure high-quality services are delivered to our residents, leveraging more than 55 years of operations, education, and engagement of our local residents. CEDA is the Community and Economic Development Association of Cook County, and we are proud to work with you and to continue to serve our community through the LIWAP program. CEDA is one of over 1,000 agencies, community action agencies nationwide, and it comes out of President Johnson's War on Poverty and the advocacy of Sergeant Shriver to eliminate the paradox of poverty in the midst of plenty. Today, we serve here in Cook County over 400,000 clients at or below the poverty level. For more than 55 years, we've been dedicated to this mission. Our goal is to reduce poverty, revitalize low-income communities, and empower residents, our neighbors, our seniors, our friends. Chicago is an area that is a constant work in progress. That's why we believe we are exceptional. We don't stop. We keep working because we believe everyone deserves the right to good health, opportunity, learn, job training, a roof over their heads, a warm home in the winter, a cool house in the summer, electricity, and safe water to drink. Let that sink in for a little moment. As Governor Pritzker said, far too many residents are being forced to choose between paying for their water bill and fundamental necessities. Thank you, Governor Pritzker. Thank you. You are ensuring access to basic human needs. Today, we begin this journey together. No longer will we allow one person to fail, to suffer, for when we work together, we all do better, and we all thrive. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Booker.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to definitely thank Bishop Porter and the Proviso Lighting Council for Community Action for being a beacon of hope and light to not only the village of Maywood, but the surrounding Chicagoland area. When we talk about water assistance programming, this is amazing. So thank you, Governor Pritzker, very much. This time last year in the village of Maywood, it was literally over 10% of our homes that received water shutoff notices. And we actually had to create a program to help with that water assistance. That meant literally like one house on every block received a water shutoff. So programming like this, assistance like this, goes a very long way. We've been working very hard in partnership with CEDA, so thank you much for all the services that you all do, PLCCA and other community partners to ensure the residential assistance programs are being laid out there for our residents, the water assistance and the utility assistance program is running out there. It's about getting the word out, it's about getting the communication out, and it's about going door to door and having those conversations with some that might be too proud to say that they need assistance and help. But we know what's on their bills, we know the assistance that they need, and we are just thankful that we have a governor that acknowledges that need as well. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Ms. Sylvia Garcia, who's the Director of the Department of Commerce for Economic Opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon, everybody. I feel like I should be ordained to be standing up here. But I'm really excited to be here today. Again, my name is Sylvia Garcia, and I'm the Acting Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. I'm so happy to be joining Governor Pritzker, the pastor, the mayor, Lieutenant Governor, CEDA, and so many community partners that are here today to kick off another program that's devoted to helping Illinois families get back on their feet. From the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Governor Pritzker has asked state agencies to find the best ways to deliver relief to the people and places hardest hit. To date, DCEO has provided over $1 billion in assistance to businesses, communities, and families across Illinois, and are in the process of deploying another $1.5 billion in economic recovery. We focused on doing this quickly and equitably, broadening access to emergency relief dollars to make sure they reach the communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic, focusing particularly on Black and brown communities that were hurting before the pandemic and are hurting even more now in the pandemic. Which is why last year we created the Help Illinois Families program. It was designed to make it easier for people to access funds to help with utility bills, food, rent, and other household costs. Together with our team, we stood up a remote intake process because we were doing things virtually, helped residents gain access in over 30 languages, and set up a new hotline where folks could call in and talk to folks about the program. We increased the income threshold and award size and adapted the application process so that Illinois residents, irregardless of their immigration status, could be eligible and qualify for assistance. Today, we're really proud to expand that Help Illinois Family suite of programs with this additional $40+ million in water assistance. This assistance for low-income families is available now, and applications are available now. For this program and all of the Help Illinois Families programs, residents making 200% of the poverty level or less are eligible. So for a family of 4, this means that if your monthly income is less than $4,417 or your annual income is less than $53,000, you're eligible for this water assistance program and the many other programs that are part of Help Illinois Families. This water assistance program is emergency assistance focused on reducing disconnections. So it's for folks that are facing the threat of imminent disconnection or have already been disconnected or have $250 in overdue bills for water or wastewater services. The application itself is available at 35 community action agencies, and they can all be accessed through that website that the governor put out there, helpillinoisfamilies.com. And those 35 community action agencies across the state, folks like CEDA here in Cook County and their community partners PLCCA that serve the residents here in Proviso and Layden Townships, Norridge, and the Chicago metropolitan area, are really critical to helping folks fill out those applications and get all the pieces of information folks need to apply. Under the Help Illinois Families banner since June 2020, we've been able to deliver $470 million to over 300,000 unique households across the state, but we still have plenty of funds to go out. So in addition to the water assistance we're talking about today, we actually have the heating and energy assistance program where we have $200 million in those funds. So I think the main message for today is getting folks to apply. We want to make sure folks, again, visit that website, helpillinoisfamilies.com, and fill out that application. We are accepting applications on a rolling basis, but it's better to apply as soon as possible. In closing, I just want to take a quick second to thank our DCEO Office of Community Assistance and our 35 community action agencies, including CEDA and PLCCA and the other community partners that are a big part of this program. We've really been able to roll out really key programs quickly and efficiently thanks to their partnership. So we wouldn't be here today without their assistance. With that, I'd like to turn it over to a true champion for Illinois families, Lieutenant Governor Stratton. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Acting Director Garcia, for that kind introduction, and thank you, Bishop Porter and PLCCA for hosting us today, and thank you for your servant leadership. I'm Juliana Stratton, and I use she, her pronouns. Governor Pritzker, I am so proud to stand with you to announce yet another measure to let our residents know that our commitment to providing the resources and support they need and deserve will never waver. Thank you for your compassionate leadership that has uplifted so many. That's what families need after being weighed down by the burden of housing expenses that they can't keep up with, because it's not just rent or mortgage that makes a home. Some families may have a roof over their head, but they do not have enough money at the end of the month to prevent their lights or water from being shut off. Do they have to sacrifice a safe and healthy life by choosing one essential utility over another? Since the start of the pandemic, more families have been put in the impossible position due to economic hardship. And that's why our administration has been busy providing support by building a strong safety net, and we have cast that net wide to address the scale of this problem. We have already prevented utility shutoffs in 112,000 households and helped reduce utility bills by more than $115 million. And just this September, the governor announced more than $50 million in additional funding for utility assistance programs for low-income residents. Equity has been right at the center of all of these efforts so that more low-income families, including those that are undocumented, can access this critical aid. And as today shows, we're still working tirelessly on behalf of all of Illinois. We're thinking of the thousands of families who will receive some relief from the $42 million in assistance that the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program will provide. We have all gone through so much since March of 2020, but together we have endured. Together we are rising. We've got this, and we will continue working together to get to the other side. But we have to make sure that there's room for everyone on this road to recovery. So I'd like to thank again Acting Director Garcia and her entire team at the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and everyone who is joining us today, who has already been acknowledged by the governor, for recognizing that the way for all of us to move forward is by standing up for the most vulnerable when they are in need. And thank you, Mr. Brown, for sharing your personal story, because it will give so many people in Illinois hope that help is available, especially during this difficult time. And if you or anyone that you know has this need, please visit helpillinoisfamilies.com or call the Office of Community Assistance at 877-411-9276. We see you, we hear you, and we are there for you. And with that, I'll now pass it back over to Governor Pritzker, who will answer questions from the media. Governor.
Happy to take questions from members of the media. Hi, Marnie. Oh,
Hi.
sorry.
Hi, Governor. I'm just coming from a Senate hearing about the tollway leadership restructuring, and senators are concerned the chairman is overreaching his authority and taking over duties that belong to the executive director. So do you have any comments, any plans to intervene?
Well, we've been in communication certainly with the tollway, but it's important to note that any organization has disagreements sometimes internally as they're doing their job, and I think the tollway is doing their job. They're building our toll roads. They've been doing it on time and on budget. They've been doing it in a fashion that demonstrates that they understand we're focused on equity, so that many of the contracts that have been awarded, in fact, hundreds of millions of dollars of contracts have been awarded to firms that are run by or owned by Black and brown people, and generally the tollway is getting the job done. So that is what I am focused on.
And in a COVID-related question, a state rep has proposed a bill that would seek to make unvaccinated people pay for hospitalizations. And do you have any thoughts on that?
You know, I'm more interested in carrots than sticks here. I think it would be, from my perspective, we want everybody to get vaccinated. We certainly don't want to penalize people. I do think that those who are unvaccinated should get vaccinated right now, because it is true that the vast majority of the hospital beds that are being filled by people with COVID-19 are those who are unvaccinated. So I'm very, very concerned that we make sure that our healthcare system and our hospital system are available for anybody who needs it at any time. Yes, ma'am.
So the city of Chicago has had a lot of issues with delinquent water bills. In fact, Chicago homeowners have racked up over $421 million in debt. Have you been speaking with Lori Lightfoot about this issue? Have you offered any support, any plans to help those homeowners?
Well, this is the support. In fact, we're beginning to provide, certainly on the water assistance front, that the federal government has provided us with. And I encourage at every level, the county level, the city level, and all over the state, not just the city of Chicago, for people to, for those governments to step up and make sure that people have the ability either to pay their bills or that there is some reprieve for them in their helping to find them the ability to pay their bills.
Yeah, but specifically you said this is to avoid water shutoffs. And
Yeah.
there's a moratorium for water shutoffs, but the city system is very punitive. And it actually goes after people with wage garnishments and judgments.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is this a way to help, or are you going to do something else to help them?
I have to say, at this time, I think that's a very concerning way to deal with people who have been challenged with COVID-19. And so we just opened this program. It's the beginning of our ability to help people with utility shutoffs, but related to water. But we've been doing this all along throughout the pandemic, that is providing this kind of assistance, hundreds of millions of dollars for utility support and assistance, because we want to make sure that people can get caught up on their bills.
Just for clarification purposes, of that money that was allocated, how much is going for assisting homeowners with water bills?
Well, it's designed to help people, both homeowners and renters, with their water bills. So all of it is, sorry?
How much did you allocate for that?
Well, there is today $42 million, but as I said in my remarks, we literally are providing hundreds of millions of dollars going forward, as well as these programs roll out and provide assistance for families. Yeah, thank you.
Governor, do you have any updates on Omicron and what the plan is?
Yeah, so first of all, I spoke this morning with the leaders of our hospitals all across the state to hear from them the challenges that they have, what it is that we can help them with. We are providing assistance really to all of those hospitals. First, to keep people out of the hospital using monoclonal antibodies, treatments that people can get without going into a hospital bed. Some people are doing that by showing up in some wing of the hospital, the emergency room or otherwise, and in other cases, we're helping them provide home infusion services so that people don't need to leave their home in order to get monoclonal antibodies. We're also helping with staffing and other provisions to make sure that they can keep going during this surge. But I'm hopeful anyway, and again, we don't see signs of abatement yet, but I'm hopeful that what is now a surge of Delta variant that is filling our hospitals will abate over time, and that we'll be able to manage through Omicron, which so far appears to be a little less virulent, so people are not getting as sick with Omicron, although it does seem to transmit more readily or easily. So I think, again, I want to encourage everybody, please get vaccinated. That is what will ultimately keep you from going into the hospital and keep you healthy.
One more. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.